Hi there, this is me Bitpocketer with the next tutorial of computer organization. In last tutorial we talked about basic computing structure, where we talked about operating system, hardware, user and application programs. In this tutorial we're going to talk about several things like computer organization, device controllers, memory cycles, bootstrap, loading kernel. So let's talk about computer organization a bit. Now take an example of your personal computer. It may consist of a CPU or more than one CPU and device controllers such as disk controller, USB controller, graphics controllers. What these controllers are? These controllers are simply in charge of your devices. Like disk controller is in charge of disk. USB controller is a controller which controls your devices that are connected to your system through a USB port, and graphics adapter is a controller which actually controls or coordinates the use of your graphical interfaces like monitor and so many things. So what these guys like the device controllers do actually, device controllers and CPU can execute in parallel and compete for the memory cycles. As you can see over here that CPU and disk device controllers, these device controllers are connected to the shared memory through a common bus which is called a bus, alright, and it is connected to the shared memory. Now the CPU and these device controllers can execute in parallel, competing for the memory cycles, and these compete to access the shared memory. And there is another kind of device controller, a controller basically, and that is a memory controller which actually synchronizes the requests or the cycles of the all other controllers and provides the gateway or access to these devices to the shared memory. Now as we considered this structure or organization of computer system. Now what happens when you turn on or reboot your computer? The first thing that happens when you turn on or reboot your computer, there's a small piece of program which is called a bootstrap program. It initializes first of all the aspects of the computer system, and it loads the kernel, which is a basic part that constitutes your operating system. And once the kernel is loaded into a memory, then kernel starts providing services to the system or the user, and the user hence gets started to perform its tasks. Anyhow, we were concerned with the bootstrap program. The bootstrap program is loaded initially into the memory, and the first thing it does is that it loads kernel into memory. In order to load the kernel into a memory, the bootstrap program must know how to do it. In order to load the kernel into memory, the bootstrap program first must locate the kernel. Once it loads the kernel into a memory, then kernel becomes a system process. We will talk about processes later, but right now, once the kernel is loaded into memory, the kernel starts functioning, and kernel starts providing services to the system and the user, and gets this system working. That's all for today. We will talk about some other stuff in next tutorial. Bye bye.